Hey YouTube, it's me, Corey. It's been a while. Try to bear with me today, guys. I know this is kind of an odd video, and I'm not sure if my sound is working or not. I've had some people tell me I've been having some sound issues on Zoom and stuff like that lately with my meetings. So hopefully this is working out all right. I am at Mike's house in the garage. Um, the kids are home from school right now, so they're all in the house. So I wanted to do the video out here. So yeah, so I did move into my apartment, but I don't have internet hooked up there yet. So I still come over here like when I have appointments with Hope Network for my mental health and with my substance abuse counselor and stuff like that. I have to come over here and use internet to do those appointments because they're still done by webcam, and to do it from my phone doesn't really work very well because it's really choppy with my data. So that's kind of what the situation is like right now. But I haven't been on here in like a month, well, over a month. Well, I've been on here. I try to keep up with everybody's comments, but I haven't actually posted anything in like over a month right now. So after I made my last video, we did go to Las Vegas. I went there with Mike and a few other people, our close friends, and it was just absolutely amazing, you guys. It's me and Mike, we've been to a lot of different places together, and this was by far probably the best place we've ever been. It was a total blast. We had a great time. Um, and I don't know, I have nothing but good to say about it. So we had a great time in Las Vegas. Then when I got back from Las Vegas, I got some really good news. I finally got placement in public housing. Some of you guys know I've been waiting on government subsidized housing. I waited for about a year and a half, close to 2 years. And I finally got placement in a one-bedroom apartment, and I just love this apartment, you guys. So I am kind of nervous because like the building I live in is very strict, very, very strict, and you're constantly on camera when you leave your apartment. There's over 90 cameras in the building. So I'm hoping I don't do anything to fuck this up. I really hope I can keep this apartment for as long as possible. But uh yeah, there are some things to worry about, but it is really nice. It's a good place to live, and my stress level has been down since I got the apartment. Um, just this past weekend, I finally kind of got it set up how I want it. I moved in April 23rd, so this past Friday would have been the 2 week mark. So it's been a little over 2 weeks, and I finally got it set up pretty much how I want it. I have pretty much everything that I want for it in there. So it feels a lot more homey now. It's a lot more comfortable. Um, so, um, and they were able to get me in really fast. The building I live in, um, the property managers really, they were very patient with me, and they got me in there really fast. Like, what happened was I was on the waiting list for an apartment at this building. I initially applied in November of 2019, and then I got taken off the waiting list. And because I was told something to do with an incomplete application or something like that, but I didn't know I got taken off the waiting list. So I called them to check on my position back in December, and they told me about this. So then I asked if I could get back on their waiting list, and she said yes, but I kind of hesitated and waited a few months. But anyway, I went in. They got me in for an application appointment because the office is closed right now because of COVID-19. So everything has to be done by appointment. So I had an application appointment where she went through and filled it out with me and stamped it and put me back on the waiting list. And then after about a month, um, like I said, April 23rd. This was in the middle of March, and then by April 23rd is when they finally moved me in. I had a couple appointments the week before I moved in. One was to fill out paperwork for HUD and MISTA, and the other was to, oh, the lease signing would have been the other one, I think. So yeah, that's how the situation works. My rent is very, very cheap. Um, there are two types of subsidies for this property. One of them comes from HUD, which is kind of the main one, and then they also get a tax credit from MISTA. Um, so you have to be approved by both HUD and MISTA in order to live there. So um, yeah, so it's really cheap rent, it's not I have quite a bit of my disability check left over after I'm done paying rent and electricity, which electricity is the only utility I have to pay. So yeah, I really don't want to fuck this up, you guys. I really hope I can keep this apartment as long as possible. And I do have some anxiety about it, but I think it will work. I've had a couple people tell me I'm being too nervous, and it's not. I shouldn't be this nervous about it. So I'm trying to stay positive and optimistic. But the other issue I wanted to talk about is what's going on with my mental health. With the schizoaffective disorder issue. Um, I have my schizoaffective disorder under control right now. Things are going very well, but the issue I'm having is more so with the medication right now. Specifically the Zyprexa. There are good things about Zyprexa because, like I said, I have my schizoaffective disorder under control, so obviously it's working. Um, but the problem is I'm sleeping way. It's causing me to sleep way too much, you guys. I'm having. It seems like I'm either not sleeping at all or I'm oversleeping. Like there's never just a decent 7 or 8 hour period of sleep. It's one extreme to the other. But not every day, but a lot of the days of the week I'm oversleeping, and I really can't control it. Like I have people, tell me set an alarm clock, set multiple alarm clocks, um, keep your phone off silent, and I'll have people call me to try to help me get up. None of that works, you guys. I mean, there's days where I've been in bed till 2 or 3 in the afternoon, and I miss appointments. I miss times where I'm supposed to meet family members and friends. It's not a way to live. Um, and this is the smallest dose of Zyprexa. Um, it if it actually was higher at one point the first couple of months I took it, and it was really bad, you guys. It was really bad. So now I'm on the smallest dose, which is somewhat tolerable, but it's been 5, almost 6 months that I've been on Zyprexa, you guys, and I think it's time to try something else. A lot of you guys I'm hearing about have tried 20 or 30 different medications. And I'm not quite to that point yet. I have been on a decent amount of them, but I'm not quite there yet. So I'm kind of starting to realize that I can try something else if I don't like something. There are other options available. I don't have to just limit myself. Um, so like I said, I have a emergency appointment set up for the 20th, um, with Mike at Hope Network, who does my medications now. I got to be specific because there's two Mikes now. There's my boyfriend Mike, and then there's Mike from Hope Network, who is now my medication specialist. I think he's like a nurse practitioner or something like that. Um, I was seeing Dr. Jean Talsma for a long time, and she was great. But a couple months ago, they switched me to Mike, and he seems pretty good so far. I don't really know him real well yet because they keep changing my professionals, so I have trouble getting to know them because they're there for a while and then they switch me to someone else. So it's like, fuck. But yeah, he seems good. So what I have in mind is I think I want to ask him about Vraylar. I hear a lot of good things about Vraylar. It's supposed to be a good medication for bipolar and schizophrenia, and I want to get his opinion on it and see if he thinks it would be a good fit for my specific case, for my schizoaffective disorder. I want to see what he thinks about that. Um, and if if he doesn't think that's a good idea, I think the other thing that I might consider asking is I almost want to give Rick Salty another chance. I'm very tempted to ask if I can give Rick Salty a second chance. Um, the reason I came off Rick Salty in the first place was because it lost its effectiveness, and I was kind of going through some delusions. Like, I wasn't totally out of reality. I wasn't at that point yet. I still had somewhat of a grasp on reality, but I did think there were things happening that weren't really happening in the house. And my household members did a really good job helping me out with that and getting me grounded. But it was just but I think what caused that was I was having a lot of life changes. I had just moved back to Michigan, and Grand Rapids had changed quite a bit while I was out of state for 4 years. And I was also kind of had some anxiety because I just got placement in my group therapy program for my substance abuse treatment. I just started getting help for my substance abuse problems at that point. And After being out of treatment for that for a while, I had just gotten back into treatment, and it was kind of overwhelming at first. I was around a lot of new people, a lot of new faces. So I think now that I'm in a more, peaceful situation, things are more put together now. I'm almost wondering if the Rexalti would work again because I'm not really under a lot of stress anymore. The biggest stress I have comes comes from the medication I'm on. So that's not good. The medications are supposed to help reduce stress, and in my case, it's creating stress. So I do think that with the situation I'm in, I think this is grounds to change my antipsychotic. I do think it's necessary to try something else. Um, like I said earlier, a lot of you guys have tried a lot more medications than I have, and that's kind of getting me to think that there's other options for me. So the Rexalti and the Vraylar are what I'm thinking right now. Those are the two ones I'm leaning towards. Rexalti was by far my favorite. It's really the only one that didn't give me any side effects. It didn't make me tired all the time. It didn't make me fat. Um, Pretty much all the other ones I've tried, are is the same issue with all of them. Tired, fat. Um, and in some cases akathisia. With the abilify I was on gave me really severe akathisia, and that was probably like one of the hardest months of my life, was the month I was on abilify for. Which I don't want to knock it because I know it's a good medication. A lot of you guys have tried it and have had good luck with it, but it wasn't for me. And it's kind of funny because Rick Salty is like a new, improved version of Abilify. It's from the creators of Abilify, and it's supposed to be like a new beefed up version of Abilify that's supposed to have less side effects than Abilify. So yeah, I was on it for close to 2 years and I loved it, you guys. So it's an option I'm considering, but I guess that's pretty much all I wanted to touch base on today because I'm not really having too many issues with my schizoaffective disorder. I do hear voices constantly, that's a given, but it's not real bad right now. It's just kind of like a whispering. What I'm hearing sounds like a bunch of people around me whispering, and they follow me around pretty much all day everywhere I go. But I don't hear it in my sleep, and it's not keeping me awake at night. So I can't really complain about that because I'm not losing sleep, and it's not bothering me too bad. I can still hear what my friends and family are trying to say to me, so it's not disrupting my life too bad. Um, the Zyprexa is definitely making them quieter. They're not getting too loud or aggressive. So, yeah, there's not really much to talk about as far as that goes. I do remember before I left for Las Vegas, I did say that I would make a video about talking about some of the issues with hearing voices and some of the problems with hearing voices. So I'm not going to go into that right now because this video is getting long enough, but I will make a video probably within the next 2 or 3 weeks dealing with that. Um, and then I'll make another video when I figure out my medication changes. I don't know if I'm going to do another video before I see Mike at Hope Network to change this medication. I don't know if I'm going to do another video before then, but for sure after the 20th, after that appointment, I'll try to get something uploaded and let you guys know with that, let you guys know the results of that, you know, what medication I'm switching to and how that's working out for me. So I hope everybody's having a great week. It's Monday afternoon. It's a beautiful day here in Michigan. I hope everybody's doing well and I hope you guys have a great week. See you guys.